Welcome to Off the Record with LegALLY at Law. Today we have a guest, Marissa Heckman. She's been my client for several months, probably over a year at this point. Over a year at this point. She is the mother of 5 beautiful young boys, but her story is quite interesting. It deals with children and youth and custody and drug and alcohol addiction and all of the things that we see in family law quite often. So Marissa, tell us about yourself, your marriage, and how you sort of, fell into this, what we would call mess, but now is a beautiful family.
Yeah, so I'm 34, and I met my husband almost 7 years ago. And I'm a professional fighter, so I met him through that.
Badass.
Yes, so I met him through that, and he is a deaf man with 4 kids. I knew he had 4 kids. I signed up for the kids. I loved them. I raised them all. My baby was very young, Ryder, when I met him. And their mom was not in the picture. She was in prison when I met him.
Okay, so you met your husband and through fighting?
Through mutual friends.
Okay, and you met him, you started going out with him, and you said he's deaf. And
yes.
So can he hear you? Or
So no, I think he wishes he still couldn't. But he reads like very good lips. And he would say that he when I met him, he said he's not deaf. He's hard of hearing. But then I made him go to the doctor, and he is in fact deaf. He has 2% in one ear. So I convinced him to get a cochlear implant during COVID because he's like, no, I'm never doing it. And then people started wearing masks, and he can't hear.
He can't hear, and he can't read lips then.
So he was like, I'm fucked.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But he's afraid of surgery. He's allergic to, I forget, a certain type of drug, morphine.
Okay.
And he's like almost died twice because they've injected him with it on like accident. I don't know how you do it on accident, but because they give it to you if you're like, he's a tree guy, so he shattered his heels when he was younger, all the normal stuff. And so he's afraid. He's afraid of the hospital. So I was like, but you can't hear and you can't read lips. So what are we going to do here?
Yeah.
And we weren't living together yet. So we were talking like over like not even Skype. It wasn't Skype, but whatever, like FaceTime. And like he had a hard time reading lips through FaceTime, and I was away. So he did it. He got the surgery, and now he can hear.
Okay. So when you meet him, right, you fall in love with him, you do some dating, and does he tell you, hey, I have kids and their mom is a piece of shit, or what does he say? Yeah,
so I knew through friends that he had 4 kids already. And he like led with, I have 4 kids and I'm like a single dad. He didn't tell me he was deaf.
He left that part out.
He wanted to hide that one.
Yeah.
But the kids, he was like very like open and honest, because he had told me before he met me like he wasn't going to date. Like, he was good. Like, he was like, I'm not doing that shit again.
Well, and also his life was
a disaster.
And also, he's raising 4 kids. Like, where does he getting time to
like,
date?
I'm not dating.
I'm not doing this.
Like, I'm not dating. Like, I got these boys. They're mine, and I have to raise them alone. Like, there's no way. Like, what lunatic is going to do that? And I was like, me.
Yeah.
Sounds like
Sign me up.
Sounds like so much fun. Like, I'm newly divorced. Like, let's do it.
Okay. So when you meet the boys, does he say, hey, they're all mine, they're not mine? What's that conversation? Walk us through that.
He said they're mine.
They're mine.
So there wasn't ever like are any of these not yours? Like they're all his to him.
To him,
and now they are. But our oldest was in fact not his. He came with the mom. At 2. So Dave met him at 2.
Okay. So Dave and bio mom date obviously way prior to you, married, whatever.
Very long time, like 7 years.
And they have mom brings Bobby from a prior marriage or prior relationship into their relationship, right? So Dave raises Bobby as his son, but in fact he's not his son.
Correct, not biologically. No.
Not biologically. I mean, we know he's his son for all intents and purposes. Yeah. Okay. So and then he has how many kids with bio mom?
3.
3 kids. Okay. So when he is with you, how does he have what I call Bobby, your oldest? How does he have Bobby if dad is not him and mom is they broke up?
Yeah. So for a while he didn't have him. On and off, because whenever mom and bio mom and Dave would argue, she would leave and take him with her. there's nothing he could do about it. But because she's an addict, unfortunately, for the boy's sake, she always messed up. So Children and Youth came knocking and said, we need somewhere for this child. He was, I think, 9 at the time, maybe 8. She was going to jail, and nobody on her side of the family wanted him. So Dave was considered kinship because of the boy's relation.
Okay.
They're half-brothers.
Half-brothers, yeah.
Brothers. And so Dave said, yeah, of course, I'll take him.
So let me ask you this, and maybe you don't know the answer, but where's bio dad?
Oh, in Maryland. He just didn't care.
Dipped. Said, fuck this shit.
Oh, yeah, didn't care. I mean, he, he pretended to care, but, he wanted to, come visit. And Dave's like, no. You're a piece of shit, just like Mom. You're not coming near my son that I raised and fucking him up. No way. You've wanted nothing to do with him for X amount of years. We're not doing this. Okay. And he didn't fight.
So then your husband has three boys and Mom and Bobby, right?
And so 4.
4 total.
Yeah.
So we got Bobby in the house. We got 3 boys.
Yeah.
And, of course, boys will be boys, and they become brothers.
Yeah.
I mean, they are brothers, but they love each other. They hang out, whatever.
They were always together.
Okay. And does there come a point where there's ever this is way before you, I know that.
Yeah, way before me.
Is come a point ever where there's a custody order?
Oh, yeah. So I don't know, I've looked through the binders because there are many binders that Dave, so have you. There's many binders that Dave kept by himself because he did it all alone. Nobody helped him. He didn't have anybody to help him. I think, some people who should have been in his corner were kind of you got to figure this out on your own. You got to leave this woman.
Yeah.
You've had multiple PFAs. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
You got to stop. Whatever it is that's making you think, this is it, you don't need her.
And we see this all the time.
Yeah, he felt they need a mom. They need a mom.
Well, of course, they need a mom.
They need a mom, and I can't. I can't be the mom. And I can't hear. So
yeah,
what am I going to do?
Yeah.
So and she's I've been not in contact with her, but I've been around her enough now that I used to get very mad at my husband. How could you do this? How did you have these kids? My baby Ryder, who is my whole world. He's my baby, but I'm why do you exist? You don't make sense to me. The other ones make sense to me because you had Micah and Coda are 11 months apart. That makes sense. But Ryder didn't make sense. I was this doesn't make sense. The age gap. This doesn't make sense to me. Why did you do this? And I've seen her in action now, and she's the most manipulative person I've ever seen in my life. I almost felt bad for her once in court. I almost was oh, yeah, that's sad. Oh, no, that's not real. Marissa, get it together. That's not real. I felt bad. I did. I was oh, she can't help it. Or she doesn't so she just manipulated him. I'm going to rehab. He sent her to a million rehabs. And this is the last time I'm going to jail.
So this is my problem with this in the system generally. And obviously we're going to get back to your story. But my problem is, right, what's the cutoff? So I don't believe addicts should go to prison. I believe addicts should get help, right?
Sure.
And locking someone in a 2x4 cage, it ain't it.
It's not
right?
it.
It's not it. And I do believe that they can change if they have the internal want to change.
Absolutely.
But you can't force somebody to change.
No. And she, to be clear, I have, some family who they've been addicted.
Yeah,
and
we all do.
He changed his whole life, and he's, in the kids' lives, and he was, a wonderful uncle. But she doesn't love her children. And
that's the difference.
Right, and it's not well, you're just saying that because you're mad. No, Dave said she'd give birth and then just be out. Dave raised them alone, all the babies. She was out, dipping out, coming back, dipping out, coming back. That's not someone who loves their children. That's somebody who's hoping to profit off their children. Yeah. Because she did.
That's the difference.
She took the money she got from the government and dipped. Dave never got a dime as a man. They didn't care.
Yeah. And
he made too much money to get help.
But he's got 4 kids and he can't hear.
Right. And he's doing it alone. And the oldest is... It's a long story, but he, for some reason, signed guardianship of him instead of Dave thought he adopted him.
So let's make the viewers understand this.
Yes,
so before we talked about Bobby and the 3 kids.
Yes.
So the viewers should know that bio mom, not Marissa, bio mom has another kid that's older than Bobby.
Yes.
That is incarcerated
Right.
that
He's
we're
out
aware
now.
of. He's out.
Yeah.
With a totally different dude.
And he's an addict.
And he's also an addict.
Unfortunately, it's very sad. It makes me very sad. Dave tried with him too. He knew him,
Yeah.
but he was older.
And there was no changing.
No, he tried. He had him work for the tree company, stole from, and Dave was like, I can't. Like, there's only so much I can do. And like, Dave's like, that's a lot because Dave really does it all. So, but he couldn't.
Yeah.
He couldn't save him. So, yeah. So it's like a vicious. So there's 6 total. But
and 5 are currently with you. We'll get to Dean, but
yes,
5 are.
But yeah, so Bobby, so he was in the system technically, right? So Dave had him as a kinship foster and wanted to adopt him, and he somehow he really pissed them off because Dave is difficult.
Not for me.
No, not for you, because you're on our team. But Dave was like, my husband's he's like 125 pounds soaking wet. So he kind of looks like a crackhead. Like, so when children and youth come knocking and mom's a meth addict, well, you're doing something. And he was like, no, I'm not. I'm thin. Like,
yeah.
I climb trees.
I mean, I've seen him a million times.
I climb trees for a living. So he took drug tests after drug tests. They wanted to take the kids. Like, they were trying to take the kids. They never could because he didn't do anything wrong.
So after Bobby got kinship with Dave and you have the 3 boys, did mom ever file for custody to see those 4 kids?
No, and Dave, and if you back up even more, Dave got, this is actually sad with Micah, Dave got full sole legal custody with only visitation supervised under his discretion, which is crazy.
His
for
agreement,
Micah, when Micah was, I believe, like just over a year because mom stole him.
Oh, absconded, yes.
Dave found them in Maryland,
Jesus.
and Micah was alone in a hotel room with trash and drugs everywhere. Trash and drugs everywhere, and he called.
And Micah is the second oldest after Bobby?
Yes.
Okay.
Dave's firstborn.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he called, I don't know who he called, whether it was children and youth or whoever, and he was like, I'm gonna take him. Can I take him? I don't want to get in trouble for taking him, like kidnapping or something.
Sure.
But I need to take him. They're like, yes, take pictures and take him. And then he had actually hired a lawyer at that point, who's like since retired, and he got custody. And she was pregnant with Dakota at this point.
Who's the 3rd oldest?
Yes, and then she went to rehab and was changed, and they were a happy family for like a couple of weeks.
And then we have Ryder.
And then Ryder years later, yeah.
Okay.
And she went to jail like very shortly after he was born.
All right. So we have all these 3 kids. He has custody. Remind me, I know Micah had a custody order, and I know Bobby was placed in kinship, but Ryder and Dakota, they didn't have an order, did they?
Dakota did. Ryder's the only one who didn't, which
That's
is
right.
why
You're
you
right.
came into our lives.
You're right.
Ryder had nothing. Dave, children and youth then were, once the Bobby situation happened and the Micah situation, children and youth had entered the picture. And it was like everybody, if you look in our binders, everybody has one of those papers that say, I think it says like 0 months out of whatever the deadline is for mom to get her shit together. And she never got her
24.
shit. 24. So she never got it together. But none of those papers are signed because children and youth just let it go. Instead of signing it and terminating it like they should have, which apparently they do all the time with like a parent who has got their life together, they're just like, well, we don't have to do that. Like, they've got them. Like, Dave had them. He had full sole legal custody of all of them except for Ryder.
Yeah, so if you have a fit, willing, able, dependent parent, they don't take the kids and open proceedings because, like in your situation, Dave's normal.
Right,
for all
which Dave is like, I don't know why they didn't because I didn't want her anywhere near them. Like, he wished it was terminated. He thought it was terminated.
Well, yeah, I remember having a phone call
He had no idea.
with you, and you were giving me these orders.
You're like, this isn't it?
And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I'm going through them, and I'm like, these are custody orders. And I think Kaylee's like, no, Kaylee, my paralegal, for all of you listening, tells me, no, she's telling me they're terminated. I said, Kay, unless she has some other document that I'm not seeing, I said, they're not terminated. And then we find out, well, we pulled the dockets and we find out that she actually did consent the termination of Bobby, and so did his bio dad. They both agreed. So, but no one ever filed the paperwork.
Right. So it didn't matter.
It didn't matter, exactly. So she agrees to give up her rights on Bobby some time later, and
yeah, she didn't have a choice. it was like not a choice. Like,
well,
I think
that's
it
what I
was
mean.
like, but like if you go back to Bobby quick, Dave thought he adopted him and he signed legal guardianship, which for anyone who doesn't know, that means Dave didn't get any help financially.
Correct.
For him.
And it's really
it's really
it's
sad.
nothing. It's a Band-Aid on a bullet.
It's actually
it's
really
nothing.
sad that they did that to him because he was difficult. And that is definitely why they did it. It's because he was difficult.
Yeah, and if mom and dad, not Dave, mom and dad are saying, fuck this shit, I'm done with this kid.
Yeah.
I don't know why they don't through children and youth because everyone should know that children and youth has a unilateral power to terminate, right? A judge has to sign off on it, of course, but they can file their own petitions as if they're a party. So in this case, when you come to my office, I'm like, what are you talking about? As in, why haven't they done it?
Right. And I'm like going through binders and like Dave is panicking and now we're arguing because I'm like, what do you mean they're not terminated? He's like, Marissa, I swear they're terminated. And I'm like, they're not. Like,
so let's talk about what sets the fire to the flame in the sense of, how, you're chilling, you get married to Dave, you're raising these kids, you're cool, all's Gucci, and then all of a sudden you call my office in a panic. Why are you in a panic?
Because she had another child, Dean, and children and youth called, and they want to talk to my husband, not me, because they don't know who the hell I am.
Yeah, sure.
And they're like, this little boy is going into the system, and you have his brother, you have his half brothers. Are you willing to take him?
Okay.
And I'm thinking, well, yeah, of course. Like, of course we'll take him. And Dave's like, no. We can't have her in our lives again. I'm like, yeah, but it's not his fault. So we're on, like, the phone arguing because I know they won't talk to me yet because they don't know who I am.
Sure.
So I'm like, Dave, please don't say no. Like, please don't say no. Like, I've been waiting for this day. I knew it would happen. I knew he existed. I was waiting for the call because I knew. And Dave was like, no way, like, we're not I'm like, the kids are related. Like, the kids are like Bobby. Like, it's like the same.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
And that's all I had to say. All I had to say is this could have been any of your kids if you didn't exist, but do whatever you want. And he calls me back. He's like, we're going to need a bed. I was like, wonderful. I'll get a bed. And the stipulation that Dave and the caseworkers talked about is that she wouldn't know where he was going.
Because and I think that the concern is we don't want mom to re-enter and basically fuck up these kids emotionally because of all the work that you and Dave are putting in to raise them as productive citizens.
Yes, so I called the office in a panic because I was like, can we take him? Like, can we take him? Ryder, there's nothing. She could technically come take Ryder.
That's correct.
And I was, everyone was like, the office was like, no, like, you can take him. It's like two very different things. She can't just get custody of these kids back. But I didn't like it. I didn't care. Anyone could tell me that they're two separate things, Marissa. And I was like, I don't like it. Like, I don't like it. Like, they're not terminated. I don't like it. What if she starts doing well? And she comes back and she's like, no, like, I want to reunify.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Which is the goal, the court's goal, and children and youth goal is reunification.
Yeah. So I was like, no way. My son had just gone through a couple brain tumor surgeries. I was like, he doesn't even know who you are. He doesn't know I didn't birth him.
And he still doesn't.
No, he really doesn't get it. Like, he just doesn't get it. And the other ones are so, besides Bobby, are so, like, they remember her, but it's like a weird memory that they think is like a dream now. Where, like, in court, when they were asked, like, at the adoption, like, oh, like, do you know you have another mom? And they're all pointing at me like, who was she
what are you talking about?
And they're like, never mind, we're just gonna let's proceed.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's not something I'm hiding. I'm not, like, ashamed that they're adopted, but they just don't really get it. They think everyone's adopted. Well, they're like, well, this is what happens. My son Dakota said, Dad found you off the street, and then you became our mom. I was like, pretty much.
Sure, yeah.
Like,
and also they're so young.
They're so young.
For them to understand the concept besides Bobby, it's too far-fetched.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Like, how did that happen?
And also, mom is not defined by coming out of your vagina or your stomach. It's defined by love.
Yeah.
And many people, obviously, that walk into my office, have step-parents or grandparents or adopted parents or, that's what it's defined by. But anyway, so you take Dean.
I take him for 7 days.
Okay. And how was that shit show?
It was a shit show. It was exactly what Dave was afraid of. So it caused us marital issues.
Sure.
Because he's like, he's acting weird one day. It was day 6. And I'm like, Dave, like, I know this is hard and he's feral. I understand.
Dean's feral.
He's feral.
He's feral.
I understand he's feral. He he didn't have a good start. He's got no manners. He is screaming. He doesn't know where the hell he is. Like,
Sure.
we are strangers.
Yeah.
It's not like the boys where you were always their dad. Like, we are strangers.
Yeah. It's like literally picked him up and dropped him.
And he's afraid
like
of
a
you
stork.
because you're a man. He doesn't even know what the man is. So, like, I get it. And he's acting weird, and Dave never acts weird. He's always like, it's going to be fine. And I'm the one crying at night because I cried, like, every night because I was like, I'm not sleeping. And I don't know how to get him to go to sleep. And, like, I don't know, like, what am I doing wrong? And
Sure.
And so it's the day before his birthday. So it's August 3rd. And Dave's acting.
His birthday's coming up.
Yeah, Sunday. Dave's acting weird. And I'm like, what is wrong? Like, why? He's like, I don't think we can do this. And I'm like, of course we can do this. I did this. I took 4 on at once. You can take 1.
You can take 1. Yeah.
And he's like, no, I think we need to call. Like, I don't think we can do this. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You're being weird. And then his phone's going off, and I'm like, what is wrong with you? And he's like, Megan, Bio Mom's sister, family wants to come over and take the kids. I was like, take them where? She's like, to, like, the park. Marissa, they haven't been in our lives since Ryder was born. They can't come back. This cannot be happening. She's blowing up his phone. She's, like, threatening.
Mom's sister.
Mom's sister's threatening. Oh, and, like, side note, Mom has now called us from prison 100 times.
Because you called me.
I called you because I'm, like, panicking. Poor Kaylee's probably like, this lunatic.
No,
I'm
she's like,
Kaylee, she's called me 1,000 times.
Ignore them.
Yeah,
Ignore
so what
her.
I eventually did is my friend called the jail and was like, put them on the block
Cut
list.
it,
Like,
yeah.
She's like, Marissa, you're having a heart attack. Like, every time the phone rings and you see that says jail on caller ID, in case anyone's wondering, it says prison/jail. That's how it comes up on caller ID, in case you're wondering. But it was like 1,000,000 times. And before we got Dean, it was a couple times. So I knew the call was probably coming.
Sure.
Or she wanted money or whatever.
Something.
It had happened before, the calls from jail. I just ignored them. So we were already on edge because she'd called us 1,000,000 times. And then Bio Mom's sister is blowing up Dave's Facebook. Like, I'm going to come. I have car seats. Like, you can't keep me from my nephews. We have no ties with Bio Mom anymore. She's in jail. Dean's in foster care. And I'm like,
oh, fuck.
Maybe he doesn't. Maybe
they don't know.
Maybe they don't know. Dave's like, they're going to find out. Marissa, they're going to find
well,
out.
And your kids are going to say something.
And we live like 5 minutes from them. Never seen them, but we live like 5 minutes. Like, it's like a quick jump to our house if you really want to go. So I'm like locking the doors. I'm calling the office. I'm like, I don't know what to do. And everyone's like, just ignore it. And Dave and I were like, this isn't safe for our kids, and it's not safe for Dean, because the shit show that's going to come to our front door, he knows he lived with that person.
Sure.
That person called Children and Youth to have him removed.
Well, and also the concern is, like, you've got red lights and blue lights and police showing up in front of your door, and your kids, that only know you and Dave are like, "What, Mommy? Why is the police here? Mommy."
Right, because they don't know that Dean's their brother yet.
Oh, okay. They don't know that. They still
my
don't know.
boys, they treat him as if he was, because we had a talk before fostering him. That
Sure.
like, well, what do we think about? What do you think about Mommy, Daddy fostering? You help kids who like need some help, and like maybe they go back to their parents because their parents are sick. Because I didn't know, like, was he gonna go back?
Yeah,
like,
and you don't want to set them up for disaster.
So I'm like, well, if this woman comes to my door, she's gonna blow up my spot, and I don't know how I'm like calling the kids' therapist, and they're like, that can't happen. Like, the kids are gonna like you can't. So we call Children and Youth and we tell them what's going on, and they're like, oh, just ignore it. And I'm like, yeah, no, this is your fault, because they went to court a couple days prior and said he was doing great with the Heckmans. So they knew where Dean was.
They blew up
our spot. So Dean then had to be placed in foster care with a wonderful foster mom, who I'm still friends with to this day, and who will see Dean on his birthday.
And
for
so
8 months.
Dean goes with this, we'll call him foster family. Dean goes with foster family.
Mm-hmm. Who had
Lovely
him,
people, by the way.
Who had him at first, too, before they found us. So they had him for 2 weeks in the very beginning.
Okay.
So they already loved him.
They already know him, love him,
yes.
whatever. So, all right, Dean leaves. and he goes with the foster family,
Yes.
who are beautiful, lovely people.
Yeah.
I met them at court. They're
Wonderful.
They're wonderful. So in the interim of those 8 months, you obviously have been in contact with me, and we file termination of parental rights
Yes.
for all 4 children,
Yes.
Bobby, Dakota, Micah, and Ryder.
Yep.
Uh,
Tell me about it.
and we file that, and we have a termination hearing because mom does not consent.
Correct.
So we have a hearing. It's so bad, it's comical. We have a hearing. We write briefs. We win. Then we have an adoption hearing where Dave formally adopts Bobby. You formally adopt Bobby. And then, of course, Dave is already bio dad of the other 3. And then you adopt the other 3. So you adopt 4. Dave adopts 1 technically.
Yes. Yep.
So great day. Wonderful.
awesome
The judge got the kids' backpacks.
Yeah, she's awesome.
It was great.
Yeah.
Then Dean's not here yet.
No, he was with us. When did we get him back? He was with us. He wasn't in court with us because he was at a visit with bio mom. When did we get Dean back? We got Dean back.
It was before that because I remember.
We got
right
him
there.
as soon as the rights were terminated, involuntarily terminated. I was like, we can have him back now because that's all I needed. I didn't need the adoption. Once they were terminated,
that's it,
I
yeah.
knew it was safe. You couldn't come get my baby, and there's nothing you can do. So that was like a couple months prior.
So did you contact foster family or did you contact Children and Youth to get Dean?
So I contacted Children and Youth. Mind you, this whole time I fought to see Dean. So we saw him once a week. They made us go to a visitation center.
And you brought all the kids?
Brought all of them. They treated us like we were the problem. They treated us like we needed to be supervised because we gave him back. So because we didn't feel he was safe or our kids were safe, we were punished. 1,000% punished. And my caseworker, who's wonderful, the whole time, mine, so the kidship caseworker was like, no, it's gonna be okay. Like just do this. Do these supervised visits because when we go back to court, you're gonna look great because you kept doing this. So I pushed and pushed and pushed, and then I forget what month it was, but let's say 4 months into that, we went to court again because every 4 months they go for like a
review.
hearing. Yeah. So we go and they give us overnights. So unsupervised, the master's like, why are they being supervised?
Ridiculous.
But because it'd been 4 months, so it was 4 months of that crap. Seeing him for an hour was stupid.
Do your boys know at that point that?
Still don't know. They still don't know.
To
this day. They
I
don't
didn't know that.
Because I'm scared. I'm scared something could go wrong.
Until we have it finalized.
So until I know
that it's over,
that it's over, I'm not telling them. And it's going to be a shock to their system because mommy with the shark slippers, as Dean calls them, is a really bad person to my kids because she doesn't show up to stuff. And I'll hear them talking to each other, and they're like, what kind of mom is that? Who does that? And I'm like, oh, Lord. This is probably going to be an easy conversation, actually. It could go 2 ways, but I think it's going to be like, oh, we dodged a bullet.
Yeah.
But, so we had gotten overnights. We'd been seeing him this whole time. And then they gave him back to us after at whatever I think it was like
I was there.
November.
He had to get his tablet and all his stuff.
So it was so we got him back, and he's with us still.
Yeah. So when you're fighting to get him back because obviously he's a brother to your boys.
They didn't want to give him back, by the way.
The foster family.
No. Foster family was always like he belongs to his brothers. Children and Youth did not want to give him back to us.
But why?
Because we gave him back.
Yeah, and this is what I want to talk about. So the failure of the system, right? So the whole purpose is to keep families united and parents united and siblings united. And in this situation, parents, besides Dave and you, obviously are pieces of shit in the sense that they don't want to get better. Not pieces of shit because they're addicts, but pieces of shit because they abandon their kids and they don't want to get better.
Right.
So they're gone. Bye, Control, Alt, Delete. And literally.
Wash and repeat, Dave calls it.
Yeah.
For us.
Yeah. Well, because you have it 5 times over, 6 times over.
6.
So then the whole goal is to get the kid with, and thank God you exist, right? Because you could have had 5 boys in 5 different homes.
They would have been in 5. No one's taken 5.
Boys.
An angel, maybe, but Probably not. You can't. I don't even think you can most of the time. There's like a cap.
There's a limit, yeah.
So
I
like
think it's 4.
I don't even know like that they wouldn't have been together. They just wouldn't have been.
Yeah, and can you imagine the already emotional trauma that these boys have gone through?
Yeah.
And then now you're going to separate them. All they know is each other.
Yeah.
And obviously the 3 know Dave and that. But I mean, that's all they know. That's all they love. That's all. I mean,
yes.
that's where their heart is, right?
Yeah.
So, anyway, so you and Dave literally saved them. Literally, like I mean, there's if Dave was also a piece of shit,
they would have been fucked.
I mean, they would have been in the system. They would have been in jail. They would have been all over. I mean, history tends to repeat itself.
Yeah,
right?
Bobby still says now, like, because I came home from the most recent court, and I was like, oh man, I saw your brother. I was like, oh, he looks terrible. Like, I'm like, oh, Dave, do you think we can? He's like, Marissa, like, no, he's a grown man. Like, we can't fix him.
He's
like,
over
he
18.
has to want to fix himself. And Bobby's like, that would have been me. I was like, no, it wouldn't have been because you have, your free will. And he's like, yeah, but if all you know is what you grew up around and you're doing drugs with your mom, then
I mean, that's it.
That would have been me. Yeah. And nobody graduated high school over there.
And it's sad, honestly. It's sad.
Makes me so sad. When I saw Damien, my heart was broken. I wasn't angry. I was sad. I was really mad at Biomom, but I wasn't mad at Damien. I felt terrible.
So,
but I called you again.
For what?
When I needed you to come to court for Dean because I didn't think we would get him, and we wouldn't have that day that you came to court with us at the permanency hearing because it was interesting how until you spoke, nobody was like, oh, yes, the kinship families here that would like him to live with them again. They were just kind of like, Biomom's doing great. We all have...
She's doing great, but yet she's homeless.
Just got out of prison.
Just got out of prison and still is missing visits to this day. Let's
Popping
talk about.
drug tests every 2 months. But you're doing great.
Well, you don't have any kids.
Yeah, you're doing a great job.
Being a 1 time a week visit for an hour mom, if
supervised.
Yeah.
And then that's why we had you, because I think if I didn't have an attorney or showed that we were serious, I don't think the master would have given him to us. I think he would have been like, well, the master, and I kind of get it in a way, because the master would be like, he's thriving with his foster family.
Yeah.
He's been there for 8 months.
And there's nothing wrong with them.
No, let's not rock the boat.
Yeah.
He's doing great. And actually, he had been struggling a bit with certain things, tantruming. And children and youth, certain workers were saying, well, maybe it's because he knows he's going to go live with the Heckmans. He had no idea that he was going to live with us. We didn't even know if he was coming back.
Sure.
So they were saying in court, like, well, we think it's the transition. And we're like, me and foster family are like, what transition? He didn't know about the transition. It's the visits that
with
are
mother.
Making him crazy, because as soon as foster dad brought it up to one of the workers, and she's like, oh, I didn't realize how. I've sent 7 million emails, good ones. Like, how didn't you realize? Foster mom sent 1 million emails. She, as soon as My Boys got terminated, she started telling Dean to hit his brothers.
Biomom.
Yes, and being naughty for us, because she's like, oh, he can't go to them, because if he goes to them, we'll fight. We're not playing this game with you. We're gonna show that you lost all your kids, and that's that.
So he comes back to you after our court date, and he's back to the normal swing. Okay, so. What changed from Dave's perspective, if you can talk about this? Before it was fucking chaos, right? Because chaos. Mom's calling, aunts showing up, shit show. Now that he knows that the other 4 can't go bye-bye.
Yes.
Is it less chaotic? Is that the change?
Totally calm. Yeah, we're not. Okay. We were on like edge, especially knowing that she technically could take Ryder. Oh, we didn't talk about the PFA, but like side note. He had multiple, but the longest one was the 3-year one.
Protection from abuse.
Correct.
Yes.
And so she couldn't see the boys. Mm-hmm. And that was going on when I was with Dave, so no one was scared. And we had seen another attorney before you years prior who said, wait for it to expire. maybe even give it a year if you don't think she's going to come around. And then you can go for
Colossal mistake.
Colossal. Then you can go for abandonment. So we're like, oh, well,
there's no such thing.
Well, that makes sense. So that's what we did. And then this shitstorm came, and I was like, oh my God, she could come and take Ryder. Like, technically, my baby.
And let's talk about Ryder for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
He deserves a whole hour on his show, and we can get him here, or Bobby. But
yes.
Ryder, for the listeners, Ryder has a medical condition, and I won't disclose too much because
it's fine.
But he has a brain tumor, and he has been seen at CHOP and has had surgeries and MRIs and blood work and all the things he still does.
Yeah.
But mom can't even show up to a 1-hour supervised visit.
Right.
The kid, this pains me to say this, but the kid would have died.
He would have died.
Because of his serious medical conditions and mom not giving 2 fucks about even feeding him breakfast, let alone taking him to CHOP for surgery. I mean, there's
Nobody would have known. It was a crazy, he had headaches and you know, Dave is like a dad, and he's like, Marissa, you gotta stop coddling him.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm like, no, like he's waking up with headaches though. Like I just think, and my mom, my brother's cerebral palsy, was like, something's wrong. So I did everything, and it took a long time, and it took for him looking like he had a stroke for the doctors to take it seriously and medevac to CHOP, but like he would have died.
Oh, 100%.
Like mom wouldn't have known.
No, there's no way.
There would have been no, and she doesn't care.
Well, she doesn't care.
She still doesn't care. Like, she doesn't care that her son could have died.
So when Dean comes back to you, you and Dave are good, for lack of a better term, because we know the other 4
We're on the same page. And children and youth are like, if anything, we're going to talk to the bio family. Like, they can't.
They're over. It's game over.
They can't harass you.
Yeah.
Like, they cannot come to your house. If they do, call the police. And I'm like, and Dave's like, if they do, we're calling Allie first, then the police.
Yeah,
like,
well,
your
and
lawyer
also,
and the police, because I'm not doing this. I'm not playing this game. Like, get away from me. I have an attorney.
And also, like, the kids are yours now.
Yeah, they're mine. Try it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's almost like, so you for all intents and purposes, you have birthed them.
I birthed the kids.
You birthed them.
I'm a mom on the birth certificate.
You are theirs.
Right. When you lose rights, I guess, though, I don't know if it's like this for all adoptions. I didn't know this, but their name is gone.
Oh, they're gone.
It's like they didn't exist.
They don't exist.
It was
Correct.
erased. It shows the name. I had them all. Bobby, I was very young. And it's like very weird to see it because you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like
they're gone.
They are erased from history.
Yeah, so like, God forbid if you and Dave would pass away, like they would inherit under you. Like they are as if they came out of your vagina. Literally.
You're in charge of
them. Which, I mean, in this case, obviously, is the best thing ever.
Right.
But
the only reason she didn't give them up, she gave up Bobby.
I know.
The only reason she didn't give up the other 3 is she thought they were her meal ticket. And I stand by that forever.
The welfare.
She doesn't know what that means.
Yes.
Like, she doesn't do it right. She loses them all too soon. But if she did it right, single mom of 5, 6.
You're getting a lot of money.
She'd been pretty good if she did it right. But
plus child support on Dave.
She doesn't do it right. Yeah. Dave had her on child support. She was in jail many times.
For not paying.
You're never paying.
And so now when you adopt them, you know this, obviously, but the viewers don't, maybe. Child support goes bye-bye. Because
we never got it anyway. But
exactly.
Yes.
Because you are now their mother. So they have no rights. They don't have to support them. No. So, you know, you lost child support. And of course, you don't give a shit because
they never paid. Our whole thing was if Bobby's bio dad was going to argue about it, Dave's like, no problem. You owe me 17 years of child support.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Good luck. Exactly.
But they don't care enough.
So, let's talk about Dean's dad for a hot sec.
No idea who he is.
Okay.
You
answered my question.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Nope.
Okay. Mom doesn't even know.
No.
Bio mom.
No, I'm sure she doesn't.
Yeah, there's no way. She's just opening her legs.
Highly unlikely. And that was the thing that I would like to touch on quick because we went to court, and it's not like we just went and the judge was like, termination, like good to go, like I thought it was going to go. Because I assume, me and Dave, we told you on the phone, she's not going to show up. Mm-hmm. No way is she showing up because she's never shown up.
Yep.
Dave was shocked she was showing up to Dean's visits.
Mm-hmm.
But he still was like, no, she's not going to show up. She never visited the boys. They haven't seen her in 7 years.
Yeah.
Like,
why would she come now?
She doesn't exist. She's not coming. She comes. She had like just gotten out of prison.
Yep.
Like literally.
a week
and I was
before
like,
some
oh my
shit.
God, I was really hoping to see you in a jumpsuit, but here we are. She shows, I'm like, Dave, that's definitely her, right? And he's like, no, yes, it is. And I'm like, how the fuck did she get here? And he's like, oh, it's those services she gets. Like, they probably drove her, like, whatever. So I'm like, okay, she's going to give them up. She's going to be like, yes, I'm giving them up. She goes, Bobby, yes. The other three, no, I want to reunify, and I've been seeing them. I think that Bobby drove Ryder to see me. And my attorney Zane, was like, in between which brain surgery did you see you think Ryder, and Bobby doesn't have a license? And I mean, there was nothing to say. Oh, and she said she'd been in communication with Dave, but her phone
broke.
Conveniently was broken.
Uh-huh.
And I think Zane said, like, has it been broken for, like, months? Because you knew about this day. Like, it's been broken for months?
The transcript,
wild.
I read the brief. I wrote the brief.
Poor Dave.
And I was reading the transcript, and I was laughing because it was maybe 2 months after my daughter was born. I was still on maternity leave.
Yes.
And I was writing. She was sleeping on me. I remember this vividly. She was sleeping on me, and I'm like, fuck, I got to get this Heckman brief done.
Right.
So it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, right? Because you're not sleeping.
Normal.
And I'm like pulling up this transcript, and I'm literally laughing because I'm writing the brief, and I'm like, this is Delulu.
Right.
Like,
This
what
is
am
crazy.
I even doing right now? Like, why am I writing a brief on this?
Right, like, this is wild.
And, like, my brief was, like, 3 pages.
Yes.
And I said to Kaylee, when I emailed it to her to file, I said, I hope Marissa and Dave don't think, like, I don't care because it's 3 pages. Because when you think brief, you think, like, 50 pages, right?
Oh, no, it was fine.
But I'm thinking, there's nothing else for me to say.
No. You didn't exist. The judge actually was like, well, did she, because he's a judge.
Yeah,
It's not for or against anyway. You're just hearing the information for the first time. And she's like, well, did she know that Ryder had a brain tumor? And
It's not funny, but it's so bad it's funny.
And I start crying because she's not crying. So I'm staring at her, finding out for the first time her son had a brain tumor. And I'm like, are you real? Why aren't you crying? You should be. I'm crying again thinking about it.
Of course.
How are you not crying? And then Attorney Zane was like, no, she's not been in their lives. She definitely didn't know. And she's like, yeah, I didn't know. Well, no shit, asshole.
Yeah, where have you been, bro?
Like, you've been gone. Like, they're just your meal tickets in your mind. Or maybe she thought, I can't give him up because I have this other kid in the system. Well, joke's on you. If you gave him up, we'd be fighting harder right now because we couldn't go for aggravated circumstances.
Correct.
But because you fought us, it's the best thing that could have happened. At the time, I was like, why is this happening?
Sure.
I'm a religious person. I'm like, God, like,
yeah, come on.
What are you doing to me? Like, I'm losing sleep, and Dave and I are, like, losing it over this, and I thought that we'd get Dean back, like, the day later. Court was, like, 2 days later. We couldn't because it took, like, 2 more months or what. I felt like years. Didn't take that long, but it's, you know how court is. It takes however long it takes. And it took a while to get that termination back. Like, it took a while for us to get it. And I was just like, is this going to happen? But now, looking back, I'm like, well, thank God, because we could go for aggravated circumstances for Dean.
Yeah, so everyone should know Dean is currently still in the system, placed with the Heckmans, which is, our guest Marissa and her husband and the brothers, the boys, the wrecking crew, for lack of a better term.
Wrecking crew.
The Heckman wrecking crew. And he lives there, but he sees his mom once a week, right?
Yes, once a week.
For 1 hour.
2 hours.
2 hours.
Yeah.
And she doesn't show up half the time, and it's a disaster. So when you have other kids that were involuntarily terminated, children and youth can what we would call aggravate the circumstances, which is rush the timeline to terminate her parental rights for Dean. So that's what we're working on now.
Which should have been done, to be very clear.
Yes. So
there is a supervisor, I'm not going to name names yet until this is all over, who specifically is acting like she didn't know.
Oh, she knew.
She knew because I was screaming it. I was throwing papers in the air.
I mean, there's orders. They can pull up the orders.
I was sending copies. Like, I was like...
Yeah.
So she pretended like she didn't know. So fast forward to now, I get a wonderful caseworker. Because our old caseworker, very nice, but new, you know?
Sure, doesn't know.
You're not good until you're seasoned.
Sure.
So that's how everybody starts, I'm sure. And Jen is a master biomom. Master manipulator.
Whatever, I don't care.
Everyone's name's Jen. Doesn't matter. So she's a master manipulator. So she is selling some sob story that they're buying. Whatever it is, not my business.
Even though 4 of them are already gone.
Right, but Dave is the bad person, right? He's the one who
he
had the money. Like, he had and that's, I'm telling you, the story's got to be wild.
But the thing is, like, I had a hearing. She contested it. Not I, but you.
Yeah.
We won that battle.
Correct.
Then we got an adoption. Like, children, youth, sit down, shut your fucking mouth, because it's over for these 4.
It's
over. So what are we doing on 5? We're traumatizing Dean.
We're traumatizing him. He's seen her more than the other kids had ever seen her. And it's like, it made me so aggravated that I was so the new caseworker, I'm not going to name her name, but she's amazing, and she's a permanency caseworker. So it's like a different unit.
Yeah.
And it's a totally different vibe. Like, it's like a different vibe. Like, they know what's going on. And she sits down in my house for the first time because our old caseworker, she had to leave. No big deal. And I'm like, oh, God, we have a new caseworker. Like, I'm going to have to go through this whole song and dance again. She sits down, and I'm like, here's my binder, because I have a binder like Dave had, a Dean, and I have all my messages. And she goes, hold on. These are terminations. They just happened, like, less than 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. These are voluntary, right? I'm like, no, these 3 are involuntary. And she goes, I'm going to have to make a couple phone calls. She's like, I don't know what the fuck's going on here. Like, I don't know. I don't know what's happening here, but they should have gone for aggravated circumstances already.
Yeah, and so those of you who don't know, even though that the Heckmans are with Dean, or Dean is with the Heckmans, they don't have custodial rights. The custodial rights are with what we would call the agency, so children and youth. So Marissa can't really, I mean, she can give him dinner and she can do it, but she couldn't, move him to Alaska, for example, right?
Can't. Medical rights, biomom still has.
She has nothing except she just loves him, cares for him, feeds him, but can't do anything for him. So what we're saying is, people will ask undoubtedly, Allie, why can't you, like you did with the others, why can't you just file the paperwork? Because they don't have, the children and youth has custody. Right. I can't.
We literally can't get them off the case. It's not our case.
It's not.
So when we have our attorney, for instance, come with us, like, it's not our case. We're just showing that we care. And our attorney gets to be with us for like a couple minutes, and then we all leave and hope for the best. Because there's nothing we can do.
I hate to say this, but like the agency views you as a house.
Yeah, absolutely.
A house and a meal ticket, and you take care of Dean, but we'll call the shots, but you do the work.
Right.
It's bullshit.
Right. And I'm annoying. Like, I'm definitely like, they're definitely like, oh my God, this woman. Like, they were real mad that I hired an attorney. Well, what do you need an attorney for? I was like, it seems like I need one. I didn't think they were going to give him to us. I'm like,
you need an attorney because otherwise we're just putting Dean, the poor child that you love so very much and who deserves such a great life, and is the most innocent little boy. I love him. He's so cute.
He's so cute.
But in a shit show, he's going to fail. If it wasn't for you and Dave, he's going to fail.
Right. And there's always a chance that, like, she could have gotten him back, which is scary. Because if she gets a place to live,
well,
doesn't feel like it now. I mean, but I was scared for a while because I was like, oh God, like their list is not that long, in my opinion, to get the kid back. Our list is real fucking long of the things we had to do to get him, but her list is not very long because she birthed him. But we got to do like 5 million things and whatever.
So let's talk about that. So if you birth the child, right, you have to have a house and a job. Maybe a job. I don't even fucking know.
Yeah, someone needs a job.
A job, and you need a place to live, and
that's it.
Oh, some water, maybe. But you have to have your outlets protected, right? I've seen this shit.
Oh, it's crazy.
Fire extinguisher, gates for the stairs.
All your money that you've ever made in your whole life. itemized.
Like everything. And I'm just like, what are we doing? Like,
right.
And the problem, and they should know, in your case particularly, because they've been at your house like 3 million times, and they know you have 4 other boys, right? They know what you do for a living.
They
know
called us.
Exactly.
A deaf guy with 4 kids. They didn't even know I existed. They called him. So that was the best option.
Why are they why is it this song and dance?
Right.
For this, and right now, as we're having this podcast on August 1st of 2025, Dean is still in the custody of children and youth.
Yep, and he will be for probably a while longer. I like to hope not, but the termination hearing, because that's basically what happens. You get aggravated circumstances, and then you're on the list.
The list.
How long's the list? Well, we hope before the beginning of the year. So maybe December, maybe not, maybe January, maybe February.
And then after they're, it's after, let's say they have a hearing and her rights are terminated, which is probably what's going to happen. And hope it happens.
Yes.
After that, right, you've got to adopt him.
Yeah. Mind you, it's been a year. Let's be very clear. He's been in care for 12 months now.
It's ridiculous.
12 months.
With no progress.
She doesn't have a place to live that's suitable for him. And she doesn't want to pay the $50 Uber fee for the visits half the time. How are you taking care of an almost 4-year-old?
And also, Marissa, you might not know, but where does she live? Does she?
She lives with a boyfriend in Stroudsburg.
And him? What do we know about him? Boyfriend?
Nothing good. Just look, this docket system's long.
Okay,
so
but
I'm
just saying,
talking
not
about
like
a stellar human. She didn't find a Dave 2.0. She didn't find.
She dumb fucked up.
She didn't find a good guy twice, and that's why she's doing this. Because I always wonder, I thought for a while, what, maybe she does love him. Like, this is
Dave,
the one.
You mean?
No,
kids.
Not Dave. Dean. Not all of them. Just Dean. I'm like, maybe just. No.
It's not funny, clear. But it's just it's disgusting.
Just Dean. I'm like, maybe she does love him. Like,
yeah.
She's going to these visits and she did raise him and he is missing all of his front teeth, but maybe she did love him in her own way. And Dave's like, no, she hates you. And I'm like, well, why me? I didn't do anything. He's like, you took her whole life in her mind. She got out of prison. You were living in my house, taking care of these kids. And she's like, oh, shit, I can't go back.
Yeah.
I can't manipulate Dave again because
somebody else is here.
His new wife is going to hurt me if I come near the house.
Oh, you're a professional fighter.
I will, 1,000%.
So you move in, right, obviously, and you take her kid, take them.
I took the kids.
Let's put air quotes there.
Yeah.
Take her kids.
I took her life.
And, I always say this, there's so many people, in I'm talking about divorce and custody.
Yeah.
They hate their ex more than they love their kid.
Yes.
And that's the problem. She hates you more than she loves Dean.
Yes.
And we all know she arguably doesn't love the other ones.
No. She can't. It's not possible. If I was a mom, I couldn't do it. I would literally, when she started missing visits, I was like, I would have started walking yesterday.
Yeah.
I would have started my walk yesterday.
There is nothing in this world, and I'm a mom, you're a mom.
Yeah.
There's nothing in this world that stops me from seeing that kid.
No, I don't get it. And for me, it's really interesting because I did not birth any. So I don't have any biological children, and I literally can't imagine it. I can't imagine. I never left CHOP for a day. My mom came and she's like, go. I'm like, I can't leave the hospital. I can't even imagine not being with your kids.
Yeah, and that's why I said from the beginning, you don't have to come out of someone's vagina or stomach to love them. Right, my daughter did. I had she's biologically mine, and I would kill somebody for her. But that doesn't differentiate from you, right?
No.
They didn't come out of your vagina, but you would kill somebody for those 5 boys.
Yeah.
And
all of them.
The love that you have for them is projected through taking them to school, homework, swimming, dance, and the list goes on, right? But it's so much more than that because I wish I could put this into words, and I'm struggling because I see this all the time with step parents, and I know you're not that.
No,
but
okay.
It's like this internal instinct to love someone greater than yourself.
Right.
And you didn't have to. Let's be clear here, right? You could have said, Dave, you had 4 kids and you're deaf. Fuck that shit. I'm not getting involved in that shit show. But, right, you fell in love with your husband, but you also fell in love with the kids.
I fell in love with them quicker.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
I love my husband, but I'll never forget Ryder, seeing him. And I didn't meet the kids for a while because I was like, if this doesn't work, I can't fuck these kids up. Like, they've been through enough, and they're doing great with their dad. He's doing a wonderful job as a single dad. I don't know how, but he's doing it. Like, he's figuring it out. And I remember he was in his little pack and play, and he was crying, and Dave was in the bathroom. And I was like, well, I cannot let the kid cry. Yeah. And I'm, like, looking at him. I'm like, don't do it. And I'm like, okay. I might pick him up. And he looks at me. And I'm looking at him, and he goes, Mama? And I was like, and I'm like panicking, but Dave comes out, and I'm crying. He goes, what's wrong? I was like, so we're just going to have to make this work. We're going to have to get married. And he's like, excuse me? I'm like, we're going to have to get married. And we did. We got engaged like a month later and then got married like not too long after. I was like, we're going to have to make it work. I'm going to have to meet the other kids tomorrow. Like, that's going to have to, this is going to have to be it. So I can't imagine just leaving, but she's sick, and she doesn't have whatever maternal instinct that some people have, so she just doesn't have it. So it's just not there. It just doesn't exist. So I stopped trying to understand it because it doesn't make sense. And that's not saying that people who make mistakes and lose their children shouldn't get them back.
I agree.
I
wholeheartedly agree.
think all of these people should be like, I don't think it should be like, well, you lost them, like you shouldn't get them back. That's not fair. But you lost 6. Even your oldest wasn't in your care. It was given to your family.
Well, and I think the issue is she doesn't care to get them back, right? So if somebody takes my daughter and says, hey, Allie, you got a DUI.
Yeah.
We're going to take your kid. She's going with your mom or your husband or whatever.
Here's the list of what you have to do.
Here's the list of what you have to do. I'm thinking in my head.
How do I do the list the fastest?
Correct.
Because that's the thing maybe the listeners don't understand, because I didn't get it either. They give you that sheet that says the amount of months, right? Whatever it is. And I was like, okay, so after this time, she can get her back. And my caseworker's like, no, like, she can get him back at any time. I'm like, oh, so as long as she does the list, she gets him back. It's been 12 months. He's a whole different human now. Like, he's only 3. That's a long time of his whole life. He doesn't even, it's a totally different kid. And if I was his mom and I try to put myself in her position, I would like to think that I would be like, because at any time she can also terminate. Any time she can tell them,
I'm done.
I'm going to give up my rights.
Yep.
I would think if that was me, I would do it. Even though it would be hard, I would think, well, look how good he's doing. Or look, they're going to send him to private school and he's with his brothers. Like, they're going to give him a better life than I could give him. But it's just not who she is.
And this person doesn't think Dean.
No, it's just her.
It's her. Yeah. And the thing is, she can fix her. And then, of course, if she woke up, not now, but if she woke up a year ago and said, I'm out of prison, I'm going to rehab, I'm getting a job, I'm getting an apartment, I've got it together, I'm going to do this.
I have to do it.
I know you. I think I know you. And I think you would say, hey, Dean, why don't you go spend the weekend with your mom?
Yeah.
Why don't you go spend the weekend with your mom?
Yes, if she was like a safe person. And like when I first took him, I was like, Dave, you don't know who she is now. It's been many years. There's a gap between our kids and Dean. Like, I guess it's not that long, but 4 years, 4.5-year gap. Like, I was like, she might be different. Maybe this charge it's not drug related. So like maybe the assault was an accident. Like,
Yeah, you don't know.
Happens.
Yeah, shit
like,
happens.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And then I saw him and I was like, why is he so skinny and where are his teeth? I don't understand that. And they're like, oh, well, she said he fell, but we can't get the dental records. And like, I'm like, so it's bottle rot from neglect, but he wasn't taken for neglect. He's just taken because you were in jail.
Marissa, let me ask you a question to wrap this up.
Yeah.
How do you so you don't birth any kids. We went over this.
No.
But you become a mom, right? And you are a mom. And how do you learn, right? Like just as me, I just had a baby a year ago. So how do you know and again, this could just be my ignorance, but how do you know, oh, it's bottle rot? Oh, this is what my kid needs. Do you just figure it out? Like, for me, I'm Googling because I'm a new mom.
Yeah, you just figure it out.
And you have a mom,
you
obviously.
You ask people. You're like, help, what is this? Or help, why is he doing this? Or like, help, I've never seen this trauma before. This is new. Like, why is he guarding his food?
Yes.
Like, what is that? Like, Google, why do kids guard their food? Neglect. Okay. Like, you just you figure it out. And if you come from a good family, like, you just ask everybody.
And I know your parents are
amazing,
very much involved in the kids' life. And what do your kids call them?
Grandma and Pop-Pop.
Grandma and Pop-Pop. And I know they're very involved. And obviously, they were court. I met them several times. But, you know, for you, it's a little harder than it is for me in the sense that my daughter had, you know, a normal, if you will, experience. Yeah. Came out of my vagina. Got home with her parents. Married couple. This is it. Nobody's on crack. I mean, we're doing okay.
It's all doing
But
great.
you have to undo. Right, this massive trauma for not just, and let's not just talk about Dean. I mean, Ryder. Look at Bobby. Look at Bobby, and like we don't forget about him because we love him, but. He's probably the most because he met you the latest. Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's really hard. Like, it's terrible.
And he is such a wonderful, polite kid.
Great. He's really great. He's going to graduate high school. He wants to go to college.
And, you know, you look at him, and kudos to you and Dave because, I looked at him at court and I'm thinking, what a wonderful kid.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't know, if I met him at the store, right, I would not know what he came from.
No.
He hides it well.
Yeah.
But does he at home struggle?
It's a lot of therapy.
A lot of therapy.
They're all in therapy. Every single one of them. Ryder's only in it for medical trauma. That's it, though, because he doesn't know the other trauma. Yeah. So, but everyone else is in therapy once a week. And Dave had them in therapy before me.
Yeah. I mean, how do you undo it?
You just love them until they forget.
Yeah.
And you hope they forget. You hope the good memories overshadow the bad ones, and it's just a weird thing. And
I pray that Dean, you know, he loves you, and does he call you mom?
Mommy.
Yeah. Mommy.
Daddy. Dave's his only dad he's ever known.
Yeah. And we pray, and we still pray, and all of our viewers, we're hoping you pray, that Dean can undo and forget, even though it's still comes happening once a week. Yeah. We can forget that because he needs to grow up just as his brothers are.
Yeah, and it's not just trauma, like it's foster care in general. Like I saw someone say once, I thought it was pretty profound. They said, we send our kids back to be reunified, the kids who should go back, and we hope and pray that they don't remember us. And I was like, wow, you're a really good person. Because that's so hard. You hope and pray that they don't remember us. Because when you're in foster care, it's a terrible time in your life.
Sure. So even if someone's loving you.
When kids will say, he's so lucky. Dean isn't lucky. He's blessed. He's not lucky. Lucky would mean he wasn't in foster care.
Correct.
Lucky would be being given birth by somebody who didn't get taken from you. He's not lucky. He's blessed, but he's not lucky.
They all are.
Yeah, but they're not lucky.
They're blessed for you and Dave.
Yes.
And I want to thank you, Marissa, for coming on the show and airing, you know, your trauma and your story. And I really appreciate you. We, Carl Thamel offices, love you. You're one of our favorite clients, and we appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Thank you.